Does it really impact the taste of your cooking? Yeah. And just practically, the powder itself can get hard, clumped together.
Oh, right. Making it a pain to measure or sprinkle.
Exactly. Just inconvenient to use.
Okay, so the evidence against freezing for gochugaru seems pretty compelling. We've got moisture absorption, specific molds that actually like freezer temps, according to that NIST research.
Minus 20 C, yeah.
Dangerous heat-resistant toxins like aflatoxin, flagged by the WHO, and just general loss of flavor, aroma, color, plus rancidity and clumping.
That about sums up the case against the freezer, yes.
So if the freezer is largely off the table, what do the sources actually recommend? What are the best ways to store it to keep it good and safe? The safer alternatives.
Right. So the most consistent advice across the board is simple, but crucial. Store it in a cool, dark, and dry place. And very importantly, in a properly sealed container.
Just the pantry then.
Maybe. For small amounts, you'll use up relatively quickly, perhaps, if your pantry is genuinely cool and dry. But honestly, refrigeration is highlighted as a much better option overall.
The fridge, I guess.
Especially for keeping it fresh longer. Storing small amounts in an airtight container in the refrigerator, ideally between, say, 0 and 4 degrees Celsius, that really helps minimize exposure to air and moisture. And the consistent low temperature helps inhibit mold.
Makes sense. And there was something specific about humidity levels.
Yes, one source gave a specific number. It said try to keep the store of environment's humidity below 69%.
69%, okay.
Which is, lower than many typical kitchen environments might be, especially in summer or near a sink. And interestingly, that NIST experiment, it also found that storage at 10 degrees Celsius resulted in the least mold growth.
10 degrees C, so warmer than a fridge, but cooler than room temp.
Exactly. Compared to the freezer or room temperature, so that suggests maybe a cool pantry or a basement might be better than just a warm cupboard, even if you don't refrigerate it.
Okay. What about if you buy one of those huge bags?
Yeah.
Because it's way more economical, but you need to store it for a really long time, maybe a year or more.
Yes. For truly long-term storage, the sources offer a different strategy altogether. Store dried red peppers the whole instead of the ground powder.
The whole peppers?
Yeah. They noted that the whole dried peppers are significantly less prone to mold growth over long periods compared to the processed powder. Makes sense, right? Less surface area.
Yeah, less exposed.
So the idea is you store the whole peppers and then just grind what you need when you need it. Fresher flavor that way too, probably.
That's actually a great idea. Now, you mentioned earlier that one source sort of brought up conditional freezing with extreme caution. How do we square that with all these really strong warnings against it? Seems contradictory.
It does. And it was presented very